Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? It is going. It is going. Let me see. I'm sorry, I just saw the headline that the new Final Fantasy Collector's Commander deck's going to be $150, which is fucking badoonkers. What was I looking up? Oh, yeah. Whoa, okay, Rachel, you need to calm down already. I did, well, I didn't just get out of bed, but I haven't done much today. Great. Yeah, the new Final Fantasy cards do look cool. Have you ever been to the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle? Yes. Yeah, years and years ago. Years ago. Yeah, I do want to talk about the executive order real quick because I've seen. Did I protest yesterday? No. There was. I heard that the protest yesterday was canceled in my area, and I did not hear until later that that was not the case because it had been snowing for like days. I hope everybody can hear my dog just slurping away in the chat or in my kitchen. Yeah, kind of fucking awful. Like, if you want to know the state of the media, it's all this shit about like, oh, executive order on IDF treatments, not the one on presidential actions. That is fucking awful. Test a once fringe legal theory. Yeah, Russ Vought, Trump's budget chief. Why don't you mention that Russ Vought was one of the fucking architects of Project 2025? Excuse me. I wish that I had known the protest wasn't canceled because I would have liked to have gone. And thank you, Lady DeFage. This is my Paddington chalice. I need to go see Paddington in Peru still. Oh, thank you very much, Bats. But I would... Yeah, I would love... there was a really good... podcast from Some More News where they were talking about, Katie and Cody were talking about just like the general factors that can stop some people from protesting and how weather is a big one. And I think that has been the big case lately, especially, is that weather is just like A lot of people are afraid of getting sick. There are really bad sicknesses going around all the fucking time. Especially like I had the fucking the cold that knocked me out for like a week. Homelander, I'm doing good. And so I think once it heats up a little bit, I think we are going to start seeing a lot more protesting, and a lot more consistent protesting. Because I want to say it's been unseasonably snowy here. Because usually we get snow in like November, December. We didn't get any, and we're getting it well into February. And I'm so tired, and I'm so ready to get back to being able to run and exercise in the morning, because I loved last year. I had a whole period of like 5 to 6 months where generally it fluctuated a little bit, but I went on a 3-mile walk / run 2 to 3 times a week, and taking my dog on that. And like, she's already put on more weight from that. It's so good for cardio. It just got me like up and going in the morning. I miss it. I miss my, like morning exercise run time. And I'm so tired with the cold. Yeah, the hair turned out kind of okay. It's just kind of doing whatever today, so I just kind of let it. Queer Molly 666. I work in a nursing home and rehab center. I can't afford to get sick. Mask up. Make sure you're masking. And that goes for a lot of people. Yeah, you should repeat that. It seems like it is the same. It is an executive order. Well, let's read along this. Because here we go. Unitary executive theory, which states that the president has the sole authority over the executive branch, and another thing we have fucking Reagan to thank for. Legal, still believe it's illegal given that Congress set the agencies up specifically to act independently or semi-independently. Not only declined to challenge the independence of these agencies, but in many cases avoid even the appearance of interference. Not this motherfucker. Establish performance standards and management objectives. For the federal government to be truly accountable to the American people, officials who wield vast power must be supervised and controlled by the people's elected president. His mind. I said this, I already used this joke yesterday. I said this about Matt Walsh, but his mind is a puzzle, but it's just a Chinese finger trap and he can't figure out how to escape it. Like, that is from the executive order of Trump, basically saying, and this is all shit that, again, we talked about this in 2025. They are just finally getting to it now, over a month after the election. This is the consolidation of power that everybody's been talking about. That everybody told the leftists, like, oh no, that's not ever, all the judges will stop him, like, they're attempting to go through with it. And it remains to be seen if the judges will stop him. Because we have seen in the last week or so. Yeah, I know Redux. Yeah, numbnuts. I've seen Redux. Redux is a fucking trash magazine. Or I don't know if they're a magazine. I guess they're a website. Yeah, exactly, Ophelia. Republican talking heads assured us that Trump can't go too far because we have to trust in the system. And checks and balances and all that. Yeah, I remember that. That is such a wild... Oh my God. I feel like this is part of the impact that maybe Elon Musk has had in this little quandary of this idea of trying to pitch everything you do as essentially the vox populi, vox dei. It's like, well, obviously the people elected Trump, so anything he does is the will of the people. And it's like, nar, baby girl, nar, honey, what? No, that's not how that works. Yeah, that's banooners. That's banooners. Tara Billie Jean, thank you very much for the tier 1 subby for 13 months. That's my lucky number. And that is true. That's not a aesthetic thing. 13 has always been my lucky number. Nar, crikey. Yeah, the Autumncaster, the Weimar Republic checks and balances will stop Hitler soon. Don't worry, chat. The ways in which I've been watching a lot of, and the entire world has been watching, a lot of other world leaders. We learned about this thing in high school. Of the few useful things I would say high school curriculum had us learn about World War II was appeasement, and how before Hitler started the Holocaust officially, but before he really started fucking going crazy, Britain, the other European governments, when he tried to take back the Sudetenland and stuff, they started off with appeasement. They started off with, yeah, you know what? Okay, we'll give a little bit. We'll just do this. And that's all I can fucking think about right now. Like the parallels to Weimar Germany are plentiful and have been pointed out. But the thing I think about when I see the way other leaders are just kind of like acquiescing to Trump and like rolling their eyes and not standing firm on things. Yeah, it was Neville Chamberlain before Winston Churchill who did that shit. God, could you fucking imagine that being your legacy? Neville Chamberlain being the dude who like didn't stop Hitler. Oh, fucking crazy. Yeah, I appreciate the Danes for not handing Greenland to him, but the problem is that like, okay, how long, realistically, how long until they start talking military action for fucking Greenland? Because if they are serious, and granted, this is some wild shit, right? This is wild shit to talk about, to consider. But I not in a conspiracy way, not in a, I think people have especially Americans, we have a very action movie centric like framing for the world and political upheaval and developments. But I think with the way that they are very sincerely going after Greenland, I think it is because of an interest in the role it has in trade, or what they see the role it has in trade for shipping lanes, shipping routes, but also rare earth minerals. And I think we are going into, oh God, it's so like, I get chills just thinking about it, because what the idea of another like technological Cold War, this time with China over stuff like AI, what that portends for the climate and the ecology of the planet is like, that's fucking rough. And I'm not saying that like, oh, that's for sure gonna happen. But there are reasons that America wants America. There are reasons that the American military-industrial complex wants Greenland, and it goes far beyond whatever the fuck we want to expand, or America needs to enter a new era of expansion as an empire, which is like fucked up. It's so, God, that shit's, ugh. Oh, Europe is preparing. Yeah, like the way that we are, Chevron defense being struck down. This executive order is very much explicit grab. Yeah, judicial power. disregard court orders. See, that's the thing, is that like so much of this, the unitary executive shit, is that idea just needs to really be upheld at the Supreme Court. And then what happens to every time you see you get a little bit of hope from one of these stories you'll see come out about like, oh, you know, a judge in fuck off California, Maryland, wherever, says that this place is going to be a trans sanctuary, says that hospitals have to keep giving trans kids care, says that the military ban is unconstitutional. Okay, well, if the Supreme Court, for example, upholds this executive order shit, that just overrides all that. And then we are effectively at a point where whatever Trump says goes. Oh, man. And don't make the mistake of thinking that like, man, the Supreme Court is like they'll up, like, no, we absolutely cannot fucking cannot depend on the Supreme Court. Do you think Johnny Somali could help create an alliance between Israel and Palestine? Do they want to unite in like executing him or something? Like, hey, there's nothing to make friends like bonding over enemies. Trans healthcare is banned federally. Even if judges make injunctions and stuff, the hospitals aren't going to be treating folks. Yeah, like here's the fucking thing. Is by the time it takes bureaucracy to really roll around on this shit, it's effectively already going to be done or banned or outlawed or whatever it is. And that just means that, like, yeah, you're going to have to... So I was listening to a really, really fucking good book. Really my kind of shit. I had it recommended a while ago. And I was reading it today I had an electrolysis appointment today. And I'll be right back. Don't let me forget. I was talking about a book. Okay. Book, right. God, what is the name of it? Ibram X. Kendi, Marked at Birth, Stamped at Birth, Stamped from the Beginning. Stamped from the Beginning. It is a book by Ibram X. Kendi, The Definitive History of Racist Ideas in America. Fucking phenomenal. The way it's written is so... It's my kind of shit, my kind of historical book, in that it is just packed full of nonstop facts, and then uses those facts for good analysis, and then just gives you more facts. And so I may actually have to fucking end up reading it, like, again. Tara Billie Jean, thank you for 13 months. And Juliana, thank you for gifting a sub to Lane Kaplan. Thank you so much, Juliana. Okay, let me give Lady a toy. She is like, hey, you're not paying attention to me. Yeah, you're being a bug. Oh, yeah, you're being a booger. Okay. What was I saying? Ibram X. Kendi. Fucking phenomenal book. But I've gotten to a point, because it really charts. One of the things I love about it is it's like it's on my kind of shit. Like, where if you're going to tackle a subject that is this deep, you go all the way fucking back to the beginning, or as far back as you need to really give a lot of context. And so it starts in like the 1400s, 1500s, with, you know, these ideas coming down from the church about the slave trade, talking about white slaves interacting with black slaves, talks about all kinds of slave rebellions. And I've gotten to a point where we are now, you know, post-Civil War, but talking about the sections in which, you know, you have Harriet Tubman, Beecher Stowe, Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, how all of these, you know, these names that, you know, interacted. And one of the things that was really interesting to me, because it was something that, like, you hear and you're like, oh yeah, that makes total fucking sense. But it's something that you don't really consider in a historical context. And that is how the emancipation movement and the women's suffrage movement often overlapped, where there would be people going to, like, you know, feminists would go to meetings held by Frederick Douglass, or speeches held by Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass would go to meetings held by suffragettes and feminists. And that's one of the first in the kind of structures of modern politics. That's one of the first times I can think of these civil rights, these groups advocating for civil rights, working together in an overlap. And that included, at times, even from what I read, like the Underground Railroad having overlaps with suffragettes. Even though, at the time, a lot of this shit in a lot of places was illegal. And all of that is to say that legality is not, and never has been. And here's the other important part, is when you go back, and it is one of the great modern shames of American education, the way that the radicalism of Martin Luther King Jr. has been overwritten, whitewashed. I forgot where I was going with that. I saw one of the people in chat. Where's I going with that? I forgot. Why the fuck did I bring up Martin? God damn it. I hate being ADHD, man. Yeah, I forgot what I was fucking even saying. Yeah, Swamp Frog Person is anti-capitalist messaging is overshadowed too. The point I was getting at is, right. All right, the point I was getting at with MLK is that he was not a popular person. In the mainstream of American consciousness, this is why I can't help but roll my eyes whenever there was this New York Times poll a couple weeks ago about, and Brianna Wu's been fucking harping on it, which is the only reason I really know about it, about how the trans issue is not broadly popular in like mainstream America. And a lot of people have been harping on it, being like, see, we told you all this trans stuff is it's a losing voter issue, and nobody actually likes trans people, and nobody thinks trans women should be in women's sports, and blah, 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 and all this shit. And going back to these ideas about the suffragette movement, about emancipation, about the 3/5 compromise, all the way through to, again, MLK, the 60s civil rights movement. If you go back and look at polling, you go back and look at people's opinions of MLK, of civil rights, it was not popular. It was not broadly popular. They were considered extremists. They were considered radicals. They were considered people we can't really compromise with because they're just too far out there. And that's where the entire letter from Birmingham jail gets at the idea I've talked about it before. I've brought it up so many times. Go back and watch the speech I did at Spokane Pride last year where I quote MLK on the white moderate who says that he doesn't disagree with what you want, but disagrees with the methods of getting it. And of course, all of these things now are regarded as practically sacrosanct, as these like embodiments of the American dream, which is I don't know, I find it to be a kind of twisted, not uniquely American, but twisted propagandizing of real history. Is that like the Underground Railroad were radicals. People like John Brown were radicals. People like MLK were radicals. And since they have become so popular, their image has had to be sanitized. Well, not John Brown. That's more of a modern kind of reclamation. But it is imperative to remember the historical context of these people who fought for their rights and not just as they fought for their rights, but it's imperative to remember how they intersected with other fights. That's why I brought up the Ibram Kendi book to begin with. Is I was so struck by, I've been kind of mulling it over all day since I read it. I was so struck by the idea of suffragettes, which I think a lot of people think of as this separate quantity from the fight for racial equality, working together. And when you look throughout history, especially, the most dangerous thing to the American government, it doesn't matter if it's MLK, it doesn't matter if it's Fred Hampton, the most dangerous thing is somebody who says, hey, we can work together. You and me, we have the same fucking problems. And more accurately, the same people are causing those problems. Which I guess is all to say, to just kind of put a bow on this, is that like, it is going to be harder as we continue going through all this shit to keep your eyes on the prize, to break bread with people you might not otherwise, to take into consideration the struggles of other people as your own struggles become so much harder to deal with. But the way that we move forward and get through all of this has to be together. There's no other option. And most importantly to remember, as you have people telling you that, oh, trans issues aren't popular, oh, DEI isn't popular, is that, and as they also move to like quite literally criminalize or at least adjudicate if these things can or can't be in the public eye, it is important more now than ever to remember that legality is not and never has been a guide to what is morally right. Yeah. I remember Dee Dee saying in a previous stream we need religious groups to join us despite not always liking us. I don't know if I said we need religious groups or leftism needs religious groups, but I think leftism needs to be more open to the idea of being a big tent movement. Broadly, leftists have a big problem with, I've been seeing it a lot on Twitter. The workout discourse started up again, where people are like, hey, leftists, you need to be getting in shape and like preparing, and people were like, oh no, actually you don't need to be getting in shape, you need to do like combat training if you get in a fight with a fascist. And then fucking people come in and they're like, and I'm gonna do a derisive voice because I think very little of these people's opinions, they are certainly entitled to it, but dum-dums, what are we doing here? Where people come into these conversations and they're like, actually, if you think that people should always be working out and it's good for people to be fit, you're promoting eugenics. It's like, what are we fucking doing here, man? Like, I've seen this for several days and I haven't really engaged with it on Twitter outside of just rolling my fucking eyes. Because it's the most surface level reading. It's the Contra thing. It's that Contra meme of like, no, they don't actually want to make change. They just want to criticize other people. Like, you don't actually believe, like, there's no fucking way anybody actually believes that. You just want to take a moral high ground. And it is so, the eugenics one like really fucking took me out, because usually people just go like, oh, it's ableist if you're encouraging everybody to work out or you're saying this, that, or the other. And it's like, no, it's not, because again, you know, it's the same. I just had this fucking come to me. It's the same weird brainworm that like incels and MRAs and just like dickheads get when people say, or racists like Matt Walsh get, when people generalize something as like, white people, or men, and they're like, well, I don't do this, and it's like, okay, well, if you don't do this, we're not talking about you. It's that same kind of like condescending brainworm where it's like, if you say, hey, you know, people need to be more fit, we need to be more in shape, it's good for your health, it's good for your personal hygiene, it's good for this, that, and the other. And if you go, well, actually, some people have a hard time working out, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not, you know, if somebody isn't able to, is physically unable in one way or another, I'm obviously not saying that they need to get up and run a 5K every day. You know, it's not only that, but it's the pancakes and waffles thing. It's like you are extrapolating something that I never said. And it's very annoying that like it's such a good microcosm of the just circular bullshit that leftists get into all the time. Anna Possum. For the past 5 years, disabled people have been shut out of leftist spaces because they don't think we are worth accommodating with respirators and air cleaning tech. Well, and see, I think that's wrong. Not saying that you're wrong in saying that. I'm saying that, yeah, those people should be accommodated. Starro Junes, if someone is physically unable to, it doesn't mean they're less than either. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Like you're literally talking about like one of the core tenets of leftism or socialism in a broad sense is to each according to their ability, right? Like the idea that everybody should be pitching in as much as they are able. And I don't know why there's a disconnect with some people with that. Chuck Grape, you won't hear a genuine Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Genuine progressive or leftist tell someone how their body should look. A chud will tell somebody to get in shape and how they should look because it has nothing to do with their health. Yeah. Like I think that's the other thing is that a lot of people see the idea of being healthier or saying like, hey, everybody should work out. You should try working out because it might make you feel better, and going for a run, or, you know, just lifting weights or just having free weights might help your mood. It might help this, like, whatever. And they take that as a like personal offense against their like appearance. It's like, no, there's a difference between this. There's a difference between the way that right wingers will do it, where they're like, yes, I'm going to be like a big, strong Greek Adonis chud, and saying, hey, everybody, it's you should want to be a little bit healthier. It helps you live longer. It'll make you feel better. Like, it's ridiculous. Hey, Audrey Rose. Brody Smiles, thank you for 18 months. I'm awoke. I'm glad to hear it. Literal Laura, not everyone can run. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. Like, I'm literally saying that, like, that's okay. Most leftists don't let disabled people come into the conversation, and a lot of the time the discourse assumes a producerist tone. It's the little things. It's hard to be leftist in the West. We have not suffered as our Easterners suffered. Unfortunately true. Oddly Magical Brandy, thank you for $4.99. We got to support each other in times like this. I'm disabled and fitness looks different. I used to run 5Ks. Now I'm barely walking. See, and that comes down to the supporting part of like having an intersectional movement, is that you need to also accept that like fitness can look different for different people. It's not always going to be the same. Hi, Coda Anthony. Terribly Chin. Thank you. Choo choo. Are we on a hype train? We are. We're on level 1 of a hype train. Holy shit, folks. Thank y'all. Insects Appeal. Thank you. Insects Appeal is a great username, by the way. Hey, Emily Sweetness. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Ophelia, I'm as healthy as I can manage to be with my disability and illness. Doesn't mean I can fight off someone or shoot a gun. Like, here's the other half of that. Is a lot of people. It's not just, okay. Part of the difference is in everybody's kind of material reality. They manifest in different ways that all kind of prevent people from, doing the things they would want to do. Right? Whether you are disabled, whether you have a chronic illness, whether you are bedbound, or for a lot of people who are right now dealing with depression, dealing with dissociation. Like I said, a lot of people aren't able to go and protest right now because of the weather, because of sickness. There's a lot of shit going on. And on top of that, we all still have to fucking work. We all still have to fucking go to 9-to-5 jobs, or some people, God fucking forbid, in the service industry. And I know I have a lot of y'all in the audience. And that shit, when I was working, and again, I get this shit. Like, I understand this. When I was working in the service industry, I was at my absolute least healthy. I ate nothing but like fried greasy food because the only meals I could really afford were like shift meals. Yet somehow I was so fucking like stressed all the time that I wasn't losing any weight, even though I was like suffering from a caloric deficit. And let me fucking tell you, I felt awful all the fucking time. And that's another like, that is another thing that comes into the conversation of like, okay, if you're working in the service industry, like I was, last job I worked, I would work sometimes until 2 or 3 in the morning. Because it was, it'd be a bar and we'd close it down. And sometimes 11-hour shifts if there were multiple shows, because I worked at a comedy club. And it is like you just can't fucking cope doing that 3-4 days on a weekend in a row and maintain like a healthy sleep schedule, maintain like a healthy workout schedule. You're not like most people are not able to get up at a reasonable time and be like, okay, you know what? Protein shake, smoothie, let's do some free weights. Let's go for a 3-mile run. Like that is there are so many different things that come into the equation of preventing people from improving themselves in a way that I think would make people happier. And I think that's the core idea of, like, when you see leftists saying, like, hey, y'all should work out. Hey, being healthy is good. You have to take into account that, like, a lot of the time, even the sources that's coming from know what it's like to be in a position where that's not always possible. Or more accurately, they might still be in a position where that's not always possible, but they're fucking trying. Yeah, and I've had people ask me in the chat, hey, how do you, like, do you have any tips for getting started working out? Because I'm not like a fitness guru by any stretch of the definition. Yeah, Violet Christoph, also the cost of gyms, fitness equipment and stuff. Again, because I've been poor, and I'm doing better now, but like the workout equipment I have a fitness ball that was my ex-wife's. She left it here. I have a pair of free weights. That's it. Everything else is just like very basic calisthenics that I do. And I try and do 20-minute workouts like 3 to 5 times a week. And even that I don't always hit, but I do feel better when I do them. And so it's just like, yeah. Anyway, sorry. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. I don't know if anybody cares. Nathan Biffy, thank you for $5. Movement by David is a cool dude that explains different levels of being able to stay healthy. Also keep the hype train going. Thank you very much. And Buzz Skywalker, thank you for giving a tier 1 sub to Salem's Lot 96. Yeah, do keep the hype train going. I need money. Yeah, exactly, Storm. Like, poor people have a harder time eating. Like again, like food. Oh God, we haven't even talked about the fucking RFK. I haven't talked about the RFK shit at all. There's so much of that. There's so much RFK shit. I'll just look up the food stamps thing because I don't want to go into the flu thing is going to have to be its own stream because there's so much there. Ugh. RFK Jr. outlines priorities on food, vaccines, and personnel. Rad. Coda Anthony, I have a tip before I go. Cardio before you go out on the town and spend time with friends. Associate your exercise with a good time instead of the slog. Enjoy the energy you have from workout. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea either. Am I the rambling monarch? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Penguin Laurent, thank you for 250 biddies. Let's go hype train. Let's fucking go. Yeah, a lot of people are getting their food stamps cut. All right, give me 1 second. At the pivotal moment, what did I miss? What happened? Choo choo. Oh, did the hype train level up again? Woohoo! Let's fucking go. Oh my God, Lady DeFage, holy shit! You spoil me so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for gifting 1, 2. How many subs is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you for gifting 10 subbies. We are at hype train level 4, 58% to level 5. Thank y'all so much for the support. Choo choo. I don't know how, like, did you just give more Lady to Phage? What? Ooh, spicy mustard lemon juice. The long and short of this is self-care is more than treating yourself, it's lightly beating yourself. That's actually not a bad way to put it, I think. And I think that gets at the actual idea of when people talk about, like, hey, people should be exercising more. It is not always, like, and don't get me wrong, from right-wing sources, yeah, there is definitely, like, RFK Jr. is a great fucking example of the way that, like, dorks would be like, oh, look at how fucking buff he is. And it's like, that dude is on so many fucking crazy hormones and chemicals. I can't even imagine what bizarre diseases would spill out of his body when he dies. Like, there's a difference between valuing pure aesthetics and valuing exercise and fitness as a form of self-care for those who are able to do it. And I think that is the difference that gets lost in a lot of these conversations, where people just kind of shut out the idea of exercise, period. Visitor official, thank you for... wow, we are on a fucking tear today. Thank you for rating with a party of 32. Oh my god, there's so many people who are donating. Cultured Kirby, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Alex. Kringus Ringus, thank you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subbies. Good golly. Gee willikers. Thank y'all so much. We're on a level 5 of a hype train. Thank y'all. Long leg Homo sapien, thank you for following. Bread and circuses. Yes. Off the top of my head, I can't recall it 100%. Sorry, I'm looking at the and I felt really bad. The thing with RFK Jr. is I feel bad making fun of the way he talks, because it's not something he can actually help. Like, I had somebody in my comments be like, actually, RFK Jr. has this condition that is similar to something my family has, just so you know. And I'm like, well, I feel like a dick, because unfortunately I'm really good at mimicking his voice. No, because if it was something that he did himself, like if it was something that it was like, you know, oh, he smoked, or it was from the brain worm. He blames it on vaccines, though. Oh, I didn't know that. He probably fucking blames everything on vaccines. Yeah, so speaking of all the shit we've been talking about with health and healthcare, man, can YouTube memberships be gifted like Twitch? I believe they can. Starm got so many innocent people. Oh, he's gonna get so many innocent people killed. It is... again, I don't want to, because it will be a multi-hour rabbit hole, and I want to get to some stuff that is probably more fun, relatively more fun, or at least a little bit more lighthearted. Give me 1 second. I want to check something. Yeah, I forgot where I was going. Exceptions can be made for dirtbags. An impression is an impression. Yeah, but I don't like. It's that. Sorry, I feel like I talk in memes sometimes. I'm like, oh, this thing. But it does illustrate the point I'm trying to make, and it's that one where it's like, a follow of yours who's like you fat shaming somebody or you making fun of somebody's physical impairment because they're an asshole, but then they're never going to see it. RFK Jr. is probably never going to see me making fun of him, but like I had a fan comment who had a family member who had a similar condition. And it's like, I feel like an asshole about that, right? Like that's a point at which it becomes fucked up. Like I don't want to cross that line because it's not just like Trump. Like Trump, you can make fun of his speech pattern. Elon Musk, I make fun of his fucking dumbass speech pattern. But it's a different thing with RFK Jr. So I'm not gonna mimic his voice. What if I got weird? Thank you for following. Shard Spork, thank you for following. Ascend, thank you for following. Long Leg Homo Sapien, thank you for following. Oh, thank you so much, Hip Rock Inc. I just finished your Captain America video. I'm glad you made it. I'm an amateur critic, and your take did change my view of a film I thought I loved. Thank you. I am sorry it changed your view, but I am also glad you're open to changing your view. That is the mark of a good critic, not an amateur critic. That is the mark of a good critic, is that you're open to entertaining other ideas about something that you liked. That's something I learned. If you want to, well, first off, I don't recommend anybody getting into game journalism right now, but if you ever want to get into games writing, any kind of critique or criticism, whether it's film, TV, music, my two recommendations, I used to tell people this when they asked how to get into games writing. Two recommendations. The old saying, you try everything at least once, try everything at least twice. Try everything at least twice. Because the amount of times that I've had something where I just wasn't in the right headspace when I interacted with it, where I just I wasn't fully paying attention, I was just rushing through it, and then I went back to it sometimes years later, and it became one of my favorite things. The Dishonored games, great fucking example. I pinged right off of the first couple Dishonored games and then went back to them and could not put them down for like weeks. And that was when I was actually working on my own game that kind of became a little inspired by Dishonored. First thing, try everything at least twice. Second thing, find a critical zero. Find where, like, absorb bad media. Go out of your way if you need to find the worst, dumbest, most awful bullshit. Because being able to have that critical zero, being able to see, okay, this is the worst thing I've ever seen, helps you set a standard for all other media. Right? Because even if it's something, even if you see a movie, even if you play a game that you're like, you know what, this didn't gel with me. I tried it a couple times. I didn't like this, that, and the other. You still need to have a point where you go, you know what, fuck, at least it's not, okay, here's a great example. We're going to play Avowed in a little bit here, but you always see with these anti-woke gaming channels where they're like, oh, fucking Dustborn is the worst game of the year. Dustborn is one of the worst video games I've ever played. And it's like, look, I don't like Dustborn. I don't think it's a very good video game, but I've also fucking played Ride to Hell Retribution. Right? Like, so we're grading on a curve. My critical zero is way fucking different than theirs. Anyway, sorry to talk about Kringus, thank you very much. Sorry, just detach and talk about critical theory and shit. Question: how do you walk the line of being angry at people, Schadenfreude, and taking pity on everyone who fucked us and put in this horrible position? So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about when I was talking about the Ibram Kendi book and MLK and the suffragette movement and all that stuff earlier. I brought this up weeks ago. The idea of having empathy and holding space to help educate people who are currently being done dirty. Because there is no shortage of people, and unfortunately it's going to fucking keep continuing. It's going to keep piling up. There are so many people who are going to be negatively affected by Trump's policies who voted for Trump. There are so many people who are going to look at what's happening in the world and have some brand of awakening. And it is the worst thing, if you consider yourself on the left, if you consider yourself someone who wants to push forward leftist projects of caring about one another, of creating community, of helping people who need it. Excuse me. The worst thing you could possibly do is point at people who are suffering right now who voted for Trump and laugh. The worst thing you can do is look at those people and say, you're getting what you deserve. What you need to do is realize, again, this goes back to, I've been reading some of on the, there's a really great Marxist archive that has a lot of Fred Hampton's works. A lot of his old speeches and stuff. And I think that's why I have it kind of at the forefront of my brain, just the idea of intersectionality and reaching across the aisle. And doing the work to educate people on why. Like, educate people on why leftists push for, socialized healthcare. Leftists push for education reform, prison reform, all of these things. It's the same thing that I was trying to get at when I interviewed the J6 who had just been released, who was talking about prison. And she was talking about how awful the conditions were and how the women were mistreated in there and this, that, and the other. And I asked her about, like, are you thinking that the J6ers, now that y'all kind of don't have anything to do, but y'all have seen the inside of the federal prison system and how shit it is, do you think you're going to put that effort or money or time towards prison reform? Because the idea of people who have never really known the kind of suffering that they've criticized their entire life, and that is the conservative project in America. It is people who do not understand what it's like to walk in somebody else's shoes. Whether it's moving through the world as a trans person, moving through the world as a person of color, moving through the world as somebody who was born poor and has been unable to escape poverty, despite working 40 hours a week. Having an opportunity to awaken people who are now suffering under those conditions, who now have an opportunity to understand and form community with people who are absolutely know the similar, have experienced similar things, is not something that you should hand wave away in anger. Because here, the unfortunate, all right, Homelander's saying they're Nazis. If you want to say Elon Musk is a Nazi, yes, I will agree with you. If you want to say Trump is a Nazi, broadly, I'd agree with you. I don't think he has nearly as many, he doesn't have the convictions of somebody like Hitler, but he has the authoritarian, he wants to be that level of authoritarian ruler. All MAGAs are Nazis. No, they're not. And this is the unfortunate thing I think a lot of leftists need to realize, is that there are so many people who are detached from politics in a way that they are not informed of. Like, all right, let me give you an example. There are so many people who do not fucking understand why people would call Elon Musk a Nazi, because they don't take in any media outside of a very limited conservative sphere. They don't trust the mainstream media. They don't know like what the executive order is. Yeah, you were saying like they don't even know what an executive order is. It is why there are so many people who are reacting in shock when their benefits are getting cut, when their food stamps are getting cut, when, you know, people they love are getting fired. They're like, well, I didn't vote for this. And it's like, no, actually you did. You just didn't realize it. It's why I've stopped talking to my own family, is that I keep sending them shit. Oh, well, I've stopped talking to them except for sending them shits like that will just be like, hey, you fucking voted for this. And there is a dearth of education and information out there. And again, that is the point at which when somebody says, hey, I didn't vote for this, that is the point at which you should try and help to educate them earnestly, honestly. Be like, hey, yes, you did, and here is how they are using your vote to do this, to do this, to do this. Because, and don't get me wrong, there are Nazis among MAGA. There are open white supremacists. Stephen Miller is an open white supremacist. But there are also, you don't get the vote without having a lot of people who are uninformed. That's just true. Like, you do not, there is a reason why there are so many calculated moves during an election. So many different districts. Oh, we need to go after this. We need to go after this. This is really big in this. I've been watching Veep lately, which is a great show, but it's got me thinking a lot about how calculated and cold the American body politic is, and how they estimate and average out and like, oh, we will rise in the polls 3 points with Latinos for doing this, and we'll rise 2 points with the education lobby and like whoever the fuck else, you know. And the sad reality of all this shit affecting us is that, again, I've talked about it, there are so many people in America who either don't vote or they do vote, but they don't really care that much, or they vote along a party line. They're like, yeah, my family's always voted Republican, so whatever, I'll just vote Republican. And I truly, deeply think that the only way out of this quandary is education because of that. Mephistopheles, people here who are saying they can be pulled back, have you tried talking to a MAGA person? They are not reachable intellectually. No, I'm not talking about like the hardcore MAGA contingent. I think people are getting mixed up with that. I am not talking about, you know, your MAGA aunt who has 5 different Make America Great Again hats and has AI generated Trump posters and fucking a t-shirt that says Jesus is my savior, Trump is my president. I'm not talking about them. Like, I would agree with you, Mephistopheles, that people like that are, if they are reachable, it is not for a very long time. Like, it is not immediate in the same way. Again, there are shades of gray here that I think people are not really interacting with, that kind of middle space. Yeah, exactly. WJ Adam, there's 30% of the voting base that doesn't vote. But then there's also people who do vote and voted for Trump based on like fucking vibes. Like, there are so many people who just interact based on vibes with American politics. Unconvinced voters. Fucking exactly. Starry, thank you. Thank you. You put it perfectly into words. Well, Joe Rogan endorsed him, so ask people. That is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. The completely uneducated voter who did not have a political opinion before they imbibed one from fucking Aiden Ross or Joe Rogan or Andrew Tate or whoever the fuck. Like, who also, after the point at which they had a political opinion for 10 seconds, just kind of fucking, it flies out one ear because they are not committed to that, because a lot of this shit doesn't actually tangibly impact them until now, until it actually does. Those are the people that I am talking about. Thank you. That is fucking a perfect way to describe it. Like we are talking about several overlapping Venn diagrams, and I am not talking about one of those Venn diagrams is a big ass bubble with all like MAGA and hardcore Trump supporters in it. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think again, I've probably spent more time around and talking to those people than most people in leftist spaces. Like I was at CPAC. I've seen the Golden Idols. I've seen the shitty made in China, like halls full of the worst merch you can fucking imagine. I know the level of fanaticism. And I don't think a lot of people can be turned back from that. But I think there are a lot of people who are just plainly uneducated or easily convinced based on one issue or another. And I think a lot of them turned out where the left did not for Kamala for whatever reason you want to chalk it up to. The Pup, thank you very much for $10. The MAGA coalition is a fragile one united by a single issue. Eventually they'll turn on each other since fascism is inherently cannibalistic ideology. I think they're already fucking turning on each other. I would pay good money to hear what Steve Bannon rambles about with Elon Musk, or about Elon Musk. Yeah. Cun Girl Swirl. My uncle's family got scammed by the Trump donation website. It's continued monthly donate box auto-checked. Fuck. It wiped out their account. They still love Trump. They are not reachable for sure. Yeah. No, I've talked about it where, like, you're going to see, again, among those faithful, I do not think they're reachable because they've gotten to a point with a lot of their conspiracies where there's always a way to pass the buck, right? Like, if something goes wrong in their life, it is, and you've seen it, like a fucking Zachary Levi was on a news talk show being like, oh, Doge and Elon, we know you're trying to do good for the American people, but innocent people are getting caught in the crossfire. It's like, yeah, no, they fucking know. That's part of their plan. But you've still got so many people who are like, oh no, it's not Elon's fault. It's not Trump's fault. We know you're trying to do a good thing. It's the deep state. It's the swamp. It's it's just a simple mistake. It's like, no, that's actually kind of what they're trying to do. That's their point. Depraved ambience. Would you say that it's fair to say that it's the people whose entire political consideration is slogans that we're talking about? I mean, hey, there are those on every side of the fucking issue. But yeah, I would say broadly, yeah. Brutus Magson, thank you for $4.99. Remember, Rogan and a lot of his viewers love both Bernie and Trump. It's what it represents to them, not policy or ideology. I mean, I think Joe Rogan is a unique idiot in that he has a inexplicably massive user base that, and like you could convince him of anything if you sat down with him for 20 minutes. And then he will just fucking spout it out to his audience. Kiwi TP, I'm glad we can have this conversation here without it getting super heated. I am glad too. I am glad that people are able to come in here and talk about stuff that they might not elsewhere. Homelander, we're not Steven Universe dead domain. We are the Russians on the Eastern Front trying to defend our homes and our families from MAGA terror. We are the British in 1940 defending our nation from the encroaching Nazi horde. I mean, like, you're not wrong in a broad sense. I talked about the similarities between like Weimar Germany and other countries' like appeasement of Trump mirroring the appeasement of Hitler by Chamberlain. Like we talked about that earlier. But you also must remember that there were people, as much as we don't want to talk about it, there were people who just fucking shrugged, who just bought into Nazi propaganda and didn't interact with it at all because for the most part, it didn't fucking affect them. Like there were Jews who, when the Nazi regime started up, when the Nazi regime started taking over industries, worked with the Nazis until it was too late, until it started affecting them. Like again, there are you are talking about millions and millions of people who voted for Trump or who broadly support Trump. There are a lot of fucking people who are just fucking uninformed about what that actually entails and what it means. How do we make people care? By educating them. By taking the time to actually talk to them. Sympathy for the enemy is weakness and it hinders our movement. I never said I was sympathetic to MAGA. I never said I was sympathetic to Trump. I think you're mixing up what I'm saying, Homelander. Yeah, Swamp Frog person. Pretty sure my own mother voted Trump with 2 trans children, and like, not like she has a bad relationship with this both. She won't even say, just quietly defends. Yeah, that is unfortunately probably pretty similar to my mom actually, who I think I've talked about it before, but I was fucking, after spending a couple days at the inauguration and seeing all the shit coming down, I was just fucking irate. And I started sending her a lot of the executive orders and a lot of the anti-trans stuff. And just being like, hey, glad you support this. Hey, glad you support if I ever get sent to prison. Because they're definitely going to try and fucking crack down on protesters. And if I get sent to prison, I'm going to a women or a men's prison for sure. And like, I want you here are statistics on sexual assault in men's prisons. And my mom just doesn't interact with it. Because I think she just literally doesn't want to take any of that, like, responsibility. Yeah, exactly. Snail Girl. That's what I'm really trying to get at here. Actually, the real weakness is focusing on our same class comrades instead of the people who made them that way. You have to be able to exist with others who don't share 100% of your opinions. Again, this all comes back to, and again, I feel like people aren't really grasping the underlying issue here, that when I say you need to, like, reach out and educate the uninformed voter, it's in the grander project of illuminating to people who are unaware, by design, by the system's design, by the way, especially in the conservative space, who are unaware how people like Trump and Elon Musk are swindling them. Not to say like, hey, you know, like I'm gonna form bonds with you and we can be besties and we can be friends even though you're a Trump supporter. No. It's because all the best leftists I know grew up Christian or conservative or evangelical or a mixture of those. Christian and evangelical are kind of the same thing, but like, sometimes the most powerful fighters are people who know the depths of the enemy they're fighting, who have been intimately familiar and, more importantly, have a personal interest because they've been burned by them before. And I think it is not useful to just out of hand say, oh, well, they aren't welcome in my movement ever. It's like, okay, well then, who is? At what point do you stop looking at all of these prerequisites and go like, okay, well, no Trump supporters. Okay, well, nobody who ever, said something off color when they were in middle school. Nobody who ever made a racist joke on MySpace when they were 10 and thought it was funny and edgy. Like, it is this kind of cancel culture stuff that is like, that holds back a larger leftist movement. And that goes for the fucking leftist infighting. That's how we got to talking about this to begin with, is leftist infighting over fitness standards. And it's like, y'all, we have more important shit to talk about, more important shit to engage with people on. And the most important should be forming community and cementing those bonds. The pup, thank you for another 10. Goodness gracious. One thing I don't think we learned in school was the events from Weimar that led to the Third Reich, which was fast changes in social norms combined with economic instability post-World War I. And don't forget a middle upper liberal class that like just kind of didn't fucking pay attention to anything or offered only the most milquetoast condemnation of people like the Nazis, if that doesn't sound familiar. Do you have a take on where non-binary convicts should be housed? I mean, like, in an ideal world, do we jail trans people together? I mean, in an ideal world, we wouldn't have jails, but that's obviously not happening. Maybe. Homelander. If they change, they are welcome, but their fervent support for authoritarianism and fascism is disgusting. We agree on this. I feel like I said some stuff that you took a different way, but like we agree on like the core concept of this. It's like, yeah. Like I am not saying, hey, Trump people, come on over to the leftist side and they can still be like conservatives and Trump supporters and be racist and against DEI and all this stuff. It's like, no, we need active education, which encompasses all of these different issues, by the way. Like it is a domino effect where when you talk to somebody about like the material differences between somebody like them, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, their political interests, the way that they are just hijacking the government and the way that affects someone, guess what? Then once you knock down that one domino, you have the other ones. It's like, okay, well, let's talk about how these people have an active interest in targeting DEI. Why do they have an active interest in making trans issues, which are broadly, like most people didn't care about 2 years ago, such a political wedge issue? How has that affected their poll numbers? How are, like, you just go down the list once you start cracking this shield of ideology, which for so many of these people, again, it is not, I'm not talking about the ingrained, deep QAnon conspiracy right wing. Like if you, the January 6er I talked to in DC, the last one who was arrested for violently assaulting a cop, who was talking about how, oh yeah, there were Antifa lieutenants. This person on Rumble said that there were Antifa lieutenants from Portland, and they had a I think he used the word battalion. There was a battalion of Antifa there, and it's like, yeah, that I can't. I don't know what, short of like Clockwork Orange re-education, I don't know how you fucking reach that. I really don't. And I think that's a deeper conversation to have about just the state of education in America. You know, it's the fucking, oh God, the other thing I've been seeing going around where people are like, oh, we live in a simulation because if you hold a towel up to a mirror, but you can see yourself around the mirror, it's like, no, like, again, all of these issues are interconnected and you can't detach them, right? Going back to MLK, going back to the letter from Birmingham jail is talking about how we are all inextricably tied in a mutual, what do you say? A fabric of destiny, I think. And what affects, you know, the racial outcomes in one area of the country, what happens in Mississippi, and I'm butchering this quote, but the gist of it is that, okay, what happens to people in Mississippi, that's going to affect what happens to people in Tennessee. And so, like, going back to this domino analogy, is you have things like, okay, have people question, why do they want to cut education funding? Why do they want to privatize education? Is it to make sure your kids get a better education? Nah, nuh-uh. It's to keep you stupid, like at a core level. I had more to say, but I had reached my limit on $5. Thank you, El Salve. I was raised as a conservative in Australia and always hated the way they treated me. I hate it so much now and will die fight on a hill against it. I appreciate that. Thank you. Like, see, again, that's a great... There is something to be said about the anger that I think a lot of former conservatives feel. That kind of feels like an anger over lost time, right? An anger over being indoctrinated. And that kind of anger might be a little bit harsh of a word, but I think there's a passion that a lot of people feel where you have this realization of how you've been tricked and how that drives forward your action against the system. And I think that is what does tangibly make so many of, like I was saying, like some of the best protesters I've ever known, some of the harshest critics and advocates of racial justice, of diversity, of trans rights are like former Republican cis men. Because they realized how all of these things had been weaponized against them and against others. How they were basically swindled. Franch, thank you for $5. I was a diehard Trump supporter up until a little before I transitioned. It took me 2 years after transition to actually become a leftist. And I'm willing to bet, having not known your entire life story, Franch, I'm willing to bet that at least some of that had to do with you coming to see the material realities other people were living in. Or you as a trans person coming to realize how things were affecting you that also affected others in a way that was probably different from your time being a Trump supporter. Yeah, it would be a lot like Zotha. I think of that. I was going to draw that parallel. A lot like the passion I have as an older transitioning trans person, making up for lost time when I was in denial and a broken person. Yeah, I feel I have to really try and let go of the kind of anger and resentment I have over not being able to transition and not being able to live as myself when I was younger. Because I didn't have, like, I had so much religious repression and denial and stigma, and I just, like, I wish I didn't, you know? Kakami, a lot of Greenlanders don't want to be a colony of Denmark or America. I'm part Greenlandic, Inuit, Native American. Do you mean Inuit or Inuit? I am unfamiliar. Native American and white from my dad's part Japanese, and white from my mom's side. Hey, let me tell you, a lot of Americans don't want Greenland either. Crispy Fried, thank you for 15 months. Didn't I already do this? I don't know. Thank you for 15 months. Yeah, I was right-wing before transitioning. There are a lot of people, again, going back to the Synthetic Man video, where so many people in the comments, so many people, talk about how they were broadly in that same, like, incel space, which is mostly right-wing, just because it preys upon the same, like, insecurities, especially as it applies to young and especially white men. But then something happened in their life. Whether that was they met a partner, they had a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or they came out, whether that was as trans or as gay. And so often that it creates such a massive change. And for me, I think a lot of the original change, I've kind of talked about this, but to, you know, give my personal story, that change really happened when I started working. Like when because I was a conservative, or more accurately, I was a old school libertarian, all through high school, which, you know, meant fucking jack shit. But it was very much like it was a hyperfixation of mine, American politics, in a way that's just not healthy for kids. But that is what conservative evangelical families are want to do, is basically indoctrinate their kids so they can have some of the good ones. They can go like, oh, my kid's not like all the other dumb leftist kids. But when you actually get out into the world, when you actually have to start paying your bills, when you actually see, oh, it's brutal out here. This is fucked up. Like, that was when all of these things started being chipped away. And then, you know, it snowballs from there. Yeah, no, Arcade Prism, I used to think I was a libertarian when I was 14. Yeah. There's many such cases. Not a unique story by any fucking stretch. Somebody said, yeah, exactly. So is Robert Evans. Like Robert Evans is a fucking great example of somebody who grew up, I believe, evangelical, but like conservative, and is like I know that I've seen some like tankies and shit poo the podcasts he does, but like, sorry, they were like, what again, do you want to actually help out with the movement? Do you want to actually be part of educating, or do you just want to moan and bitch on Twitter and feel superior? And I think that's a problem with way too many fucking people right now. Watching my brother get recruited by incels for a few years, so glad he escaped it before getting too deep. Me too. That is always a wonderful thing. Oh god, Daily Shoah. Somebody mentioning Daily Shoah. Fuck. God, those fucking assholes. Hello, doggy. You just want to show me your toy, don't you? Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. There we go. Tankies, your boy Max, tankies are authoritarian communists, generally. So they will advocate for things like social programs and social safety nets, but also like, it's just open authoritarianism. And so it's just like, yeah, we'll put all the conservatives in work camps, and it's like, guess what? You're no fucking better, dumbass. Like, yeah, like it's red fash, essentially. It's like, hey, we're based, but also we'll do all the same shit that we criticize conservatives for doing, but we're just doing it to them. It's like, guess what? You're not better. Ugh. That shit pisses me off so much. Yeah, Maple, you're not wrong. It's definitely something I need to unlearn, but sometimes it feels like moaning and complaining on Twitter is all that can be done. Well, and I'm not talking about like, look, that can be an outlet for community. That can be an outlet for just fucking vibing, like getting your thoughts out in a way that is for some people that can be therapeutic. But like that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. Is like just complaining and bitching about shit, because hey, I do that, everybody does that. But I am more meaning the people who will look at other leftists who are doing like literally anything and be like, well, actually, and it's just. Yeah, and Sage, tankies are just right-wing authoritarians with the aesthetics of leftism. Sometimes not even the fucking aesthetics of leftism. Like, sometimes they just, like, look like Nazis and shit. It's fucking, yeah, it's crazy shit. Sorry, if you see me wiggling, it's because my dog is, like, not leaving me alone and listen. Okay, now she's taking me away. Oh, God. Lady, this chair has wheels. You can't... Lady. Oh, she's so strong. God. Okay. Pet puppy. I have been petting puppy. Yeah, it is like if tankies weren't so inept, I'd consider them as dangerous as Nazis. Yeah, they're not. I wouldn't call them a genuine threat. But I think unfortunately a lot of people, right now especially, are drawn towards that kind of radicalism because, hey, we're all fucking angry at what's happening. Hey, Ms. Genderlin. Dead Domain. Why do you have so much contempt towards our concern about fitness being touted as a prerequisite to being a leftist? It's not being sold as just do what you can. I don't have contempt towards that. I don't think it's ever been a prerequisite for being a leftist. I reject your assertion. But like seriously, I think that it depends on who you're engaging with. And I think whoever is not depicting it as, hey, you should do what you can, whoever is depicting it as an aesthetic struggle over personal health and being able to live a better quality of life, I would disagree with them. I think that they are not coming from a leftist perspective anyway. Yeah, I don't think I've engaged with much of anything with contempt on this stream, at least. Someone should tell Noah Samson he doesn't need to work out anymore. See, like, she pulled for like 2 seconds, and then now she's just chewing on her toy. She's fine. She's chill. I got a little toy actually for my cat. She actually did like. She never likes toys. It's crazy. Yeah, let me see. Whoa. Okay. I'm trying to scroll down for that. Ooh, I got a hype chest. There we go. If you're not conservative, you're called a leftist. If you're conservative in Europe, you're considered far right. Bit of a contrast. God. I mean, like, hey, that's another thing that we need to have a conversation about and appeal to a wider idea of what leftism actually is in this country, because our political spectrum is fucked. Like, at what point do so many people realize that, like, hey, all the Democrats support almost all of the Republican shit at this point? And more importantly, they're not doing anything tangibly to fucking stop the Republicans right now. So how different are our political parties really when they're battling for all the same special interests? Hey, Spooky Pepper. Carmen Phillips finally off work, meow? Meow? With, where you work in the biscuit factory? Hey. Nia. Yeah, anything left of a neolib is a commie at this point. Fucking conservatives will call neolibs commies. Like, it doesn't... The way I feel insane. The way I've seen Trump and everybody, like, cement the idea in the conservative consciousness, but cement the idea that Kamala and Joe Biden were radical communists is like... I feel like I'm peering into a fucking alternate reality every time they say it. I'm like, God, I wish. Oh. Yeah, no, radical Marxist fascist is like, it's such a perfect Trumpian phrase. All right. Humanist needs to get said more. Humanist is a good way to put it, actually. Because I think that is the end goal of any worthwhile leftist political project. It's not power. It's not cementing power. While those are certainly goals that you should work towards, it needs to be people, providing for people, understanding the needs and listening to the needs of people. And creating a society that reflects that. Because right now, like when people talk about us living in a corporate tech oligarchy, like fucking look at what Elon Musk is just doing right now. Like, yeah, that's our like moment in time right now. Yeah, exactly. Republicans thought we were 1% away from the dictatorship of the proletariat. The way they talk about Biden's presidency is like, good God. But you could not have had a more like feckless, inoffensive Democrat if it was like it just wasn't possible. Yeah, radical communist American president. Oh, I fucking wish. Fucking didn't it? Yeah. Do I follow the Humanist Report or non-compete? I watch the Humanist Report sometimes, and non-compete, I feel like I'm subbed to them, but it sounds familiar. I think authoritarianism is thrown around far too much by people punching left. Yeah, like here's the real problem. One of the many problems right now is the idea of what authoritarianism is and what it looks like, where and it's built upon a house of cards. Like it is not something that has happened overnight. It is not something that is unique to Trump by any stretch, because people like Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, the conservative Mount Rushmore of talk radio, have been imbuing in their massive listener base, and this has trickled down to the modern podcast sphere of like Russell Brand, Joe Rogan, even people like Alex Jones, who now have inexplicably again more of a platform. The ideas of the culture war and these little things that they will blow out of proportion to try and convince their audience that they're actually either subliminally or explicitly trying to control you and trying to control the way you live, when really it's just shit that is like broadly trying to help everybody. It's stuff like hey, like kids can't be forced to pray in school.
They're like, well, that's not part of the America. We live in America. We need to
like that kind of bullshit. Or like, hey, you know what? Plastic waste fucks up is killing sea turtles and killing fish and all that shit. So like, hey, let's try. What about paper straws? And they're like,
well, this is communist. We can't have paper straws.
Like, it's that fucking Dennis Leary "I'm an Asshole" song with big baby seal eyes for headlights. I throw the container right out the side. And it's that like same level of it's propaganda, and it has been incredibly effective, ironically, subliminally, at creating this sense of this false sense, this mirage of independence, where any measure to have any kind of choice you might make impacted is seen as a personal slight on your independence as a human being. And we saw, I think, the terrible like final manifestation of this was during COVID, where it became not, hey, we need to, you need to mask up, you need to get vaccinations because you have to do this, that, and the other. Because like, hey, we want to go back to work, or we can beat this COVID thing. And hey, all the old people or the children could get sick. We don't really know where this can go. And that conversation got derailed by these same kind of culture war issues of like,
well, what's in the shot? Like, Bill Gates is trying to put microchips in people's blood.
And it's just like it is manifested in a way where you can't really, again, like there is a contingent of people that you cannot engage with, because how are you going to talk about how like the greater good and what works for an entire population when you've got people who think a vaccine made by, the smartest scientists on the face of the planet is the mark of the beast from the Bible? Like how do you fucking engage with that? And that's not to say like, hey, I think there is a healthy level of vaccine skepticism to have, a healthy level of just any kind of skepticism of something that is being mandated to any degree, but they've taken it so far that now there's this inverted spectrum of like what people think authoritarianism is, or at least on the conservative right in America, what people think authoritarianism is versus how it's tangibly right now manifesting in front of everybody's fucking eyes. And nobody seems to really grasp that, because they've been miseducated to see anything that they're sold as infringing upon their personal rights. That's authoritarianism. No, the left, they do authoritarianism because authoritarianism is paper straws and electric cars and changing light bulbs and fucking, anything else that we don't understand and we can sell to you as something stupid. Authoritarianism is not a government banning DEI measures and a government cracking down on people's self-expression and a government, making these broad sweeping legislative changes at the behest of one person who's trying to cement his power, like we were talking about earlier, without needing to go through any judges. Like, it's, yeah. Yeah, y'all don't remember the light bulb thing. I mean, you might not. I remember the light bulb thing. There was a time when, this would have been when like Glenn Beck was talk of the town. And the LED light bulbs, and before that it was the because they got rid of, there was new environmental standards in the Obama era on I don't remember what it was, but the big thing was like, oh, these light bulbs have a little bit of mercury in them. And so they made a whole hullabaloo of like, oh, anytime you break a light bulb, you're going to have the CDC come to your house. And like, this is going to be for everybody. And this is communism. And they're trying to take away your choice of fucking light bulb. And would you believe it? This never really manifested into any tangible reality. But damn, it was effective propaganda for idiots. Yeah. Woof. Yeah, halogen, then CFL. Yeah. Yeah, gas stoves. God. And the funny part is I miss the gas stoves, like, debate or whatever you want to call it, because it was such a insulated conflict where only conservatives gave a fuck about it. So only conservatives knew about it. So when Trump started talking about it on the campaign trail, I just remember being like, gas, who gives a shit? Gas stoves? What? Who fucking cares? What are you talking about? And it turns out a lot of people, again, it's that kind of like, it's a dog whistle practically, where you only really know what the fuck they're talking about if you are going to Breitbart and listening to Alex Jones every day. And it's like, oh no, apparently this is something they've been told actually matters and people actually care about now. So that's cool. It's like they will get up in arms and called the government authoritarian for gas stoves, but not for, we can pass billions more in defense contracting and defense spending while cutting the Department of Education, while also mandating what can or can't be taught at the Department of Education, saying that you can't teach this, you can't teach anything that goes against the very strict mandate that makes our president and our conservative movement look good. Like, great. Everybody knows what authoritarianism is, apparently. Yep, the soda panic. I remember that shit. Yeah, that's... Oh, what a world. What a world. All right, I'll be right back. Oh, hello, dog. Hello, dog. Dogger, what are you doing? Hey, dog. You've been playing Gears 5? I downloaded Gears 5 because since our Gears stream the other day, I've been hankering for some Gears multiplayer action. I'm still pissed I never got the gray skin from Terminator. It pisses me off. I'll put chat box behind the Webby. There we go. Let's go. Yeah, New York wanted to make sodas less unhealthy by removing big portions. Fox thought it was no, yeah, that was God, that fucking takes me back, because yeah, that was probably right after I started like detaching from politics. No, that goes back a ways, where it is the idea of oh, I see how it is, Emily. I see how it is. Riverboat Jack is streaming, so you're just gonna abandon me. Okay. Try to tax soda, yeah. It's like, and here's the fucking crazy shit, is that like now RFK Jr. is like talking about doing all the same stuff, and they're like, yeah, no, we're gonna get America more healthy. It's like, fuck, man. Like all the same shit Michelle Obama was saying about, hey, we need to get kids to have better school lunches and shit, and RFK Jr. is just doing the same thing, and nobody has any compunctions about it. And it's like, No, yeah, like fucking try taking. People are like, oh, that's stupid. You do not understand the kung fu grip Americans will have on their high fructose corn syrup tasty treats. Like, especially if you're not American, like, oh, that is, yeah, I'm gonna. No, they did the small cans for vending machines in schools, if I remember correctly. All right, we are gonna do. So we're gonna do something fun. Can't take my red 40 away from me. I have heard along the grapevine that Avowed, the new game from Fallout New Vegas makers Obsidian, is gay and a word I'm. God, that's fucking lame. Peak 2006 combat, but not. Why? Why do you keep doing that? Stop it. Stop. Christ. Fucking pronouns. Yeah, we're gonna watch some Andy Pants gaming while we play. We're gonna watch some of the Avowed, the latest game to let's go to trigger to rustle the jimmies of the anti-woke dorks. Crouch mode, toggle, flinches only, aim assists. Yeah, all looks fine to me. I do think the fucking the like promo art they have is sweet. All right. Now, this game has been sold to me as roughly like an Oblivion type game. I'm way into that. Way into it. Gemini Money X2 people who made this game probably look just like me. Hot? Probably. Is Avowed actually good? Does it take place in the Pillars of Eternity world? I did not know this. I did not know this. Damn. Cool. I've never played Pillars of Eternity, but I've heard I think Pillars of Eternity 2 somewhere. I don't know to what extent it's like Oblivion, but I've had people say, "Hey, it's like Oblivion," and I'm like, I love me some Oblivion. Go check out. I made a video essay on Oblivion. I wish I could redo the audio in that one, because that one's not, the audio is not great in that video. But we're gonna put on. I would like to see. I know they were talking about a Oblivion remake. I would like to see a Morrowind remake, because I think that one is a little bit harder to engage with. Swamp Frog person, when I first played Skyrim, gender or sex, whatever word they used, looked like it was on a slider, and it was somehow it snapped from one side to the other. Many such cases. Oh my goodness. Many such cases. That might have been how you found my channel. Oh, thank you. Oblivion's my favorite Bethesda slop. Hey, that was, you can't call Oblivion slop, okay? That game is fucking mwah. I'm sorry. Any game that lets you level up your skills to the point where you're just jumping all over the place, and it gets to the point where you're jumping fucking 50 feet into the air on top of so spend 70 hours in Oblivion, you can just jump on top of houses. It's incredible. Fuck, man. Oh. Okay, what do we got? Presets. Nah, fuck that. I do kind of like they got like very, ooh. I think the character creator got hit with the Xbox Series S blur. Yeah, they did not. Damn. Okay, so everybody's just a fungus person in this. That's kind of cool. It's a look, I guess. Oh, I kind of like that druid horn. I'll take the while we're making a character, we will bussy control. All right, now I'm just gonna go. Let's go. All right, let's start with face. Nope, wait. It's an okay face. Hey, at least the okay, yeah. Ooh, toggle armor. Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was gonna be nudity. Awoked. Hey. We're playing Avowed. All right, you hail from the Adrian Empire. Okay, I got what we're doing here. I need the, can I remove my face mask? Can I not? No, that is part of my head apparently. All right, let's. Godlike features. Oh, that's neat. Okay. Those are some looks. I tell you what. Interesting. Okay. Face preset. Literally every one of these looks better than Skyrim faces. Although it is not quite the androgynous look that I usually want. I was too young to fully appreciate Oblivion. Yeah, you need to go back. You need to go back and cop that because Oblivion fucking whips. All right, let's. Okay, chat, really quick. Can somebody confirm for me? Am I able to change my character after the game begins? Because that will change how I engage with this. I can't? What the fuck are we doing here? How do you make a video game in the year 2025 where you cannot? Okay, yeah, that's better. All right, now we're getting that kind of androgyny look I like. Ugh. Now y'all are talking about Bloodlines 2 never releasing. That shit hurts, man. That shit hurts. Alright, let's. Alright. Hair. Look, I know we're doing like that's kind of like Asterian hair. That's kind of like my hair. Oh. That's like Alucard hair. Yeah, I'll change the nose in a second here. Because like here's my problem with games like this. If I can't change my character appearance, I will get 20 hours into a game and I swear to Christ I will restart if something is not working for me, if I do not like the way I look all of a sudden. Yeah, that's kind of my hair right now. All right, let's go. All right, eyes, nose. Oh man, can I? Oh, I can't. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Face shape. Or whatever. Complexion style. Oh, okay. Lips. That's not at all. There we go. Oh, they have like scarification stuff. That's neat. Eyeliner, let's go. I need my character to be serving cunt. Eyeliner color 2. There we go. Oh damn, that's kind of crazy looking. Ooh, I like that a lot. All right, that's Why is there still like a hint of blue there? Oh, there's a third color. Shit. Oh wait, no. Makeup. Ooh, there's more makeup. All right, let's go. But well, this is tattoos, not makeup. Okay. I guess. It's not really showing anything. let's do back to my ooh, I kind of like that. That hair is kind of serving. Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, let's. Yeah. Let's see if I can do more of a smudgy. No, it's not quite that. Oh yeah, that's kind of a vibe. All right, let me. Oh yeah, I need eyes. Duh. All right, how are we doing, chat? Sorry, I'm Stony. Have any of you played Dustborn? Truly a masterpiece. Bait used to be believable, chat. Bait used to be believable. Arcane Scholar. Okay, Court Augur. I need like a fucking Vanguard Scout. I guess I'll be that. I need a like shithead rogue. Yeah, I'm sure this will all be fine. No, ooh, fuck, I can't hear voices. Fucking they pronouns. Fuck you. Can I not? Is there not body? Can I not make my tits smaller? Body type, skin tone. Yeah. Alright, no smaller tits, I guess. Alright, there's that. Well, let me actually. Yeah, it looks fine. Game difficulty normal. They. Envoy. Let's use one of my regular fantasy names. No, actually, I'll do my regular RPG name. Okay. You cannot remake your character. All right, chat. This is it. No, you know what? Actually, I'm going to change my hair. Yeah, I'm going to change my hair. All right, we're hair. Should probably change hair color. Ooh, root color. I can kind of have roots growing. Okay, that's neat. Ooh, that's too yellow. Okay, that's too much. Okay. We're gonna go with that. All right, here we go, chat. Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, I love this guy. This looks good. All right, we're gonna turn on. Turn that on a little bit. No!
What do you know of the living lands?
Fuck, man.
The rumors and tales are so vexing, they cannot be true. And yet they are. Those
Get F's in chat. Press F to pay respects.
with the most
Oh, now we gotta watch him like fucking.
and the most dreadful abominations. There beats a dark pulse within the heart of that soil. Something vile stirs beneath the earth, seething with decay. A corruption growing beyond everything it touches.
Gnarly, y'all.
Its foul tendrils reach towards us, to lash out at the Empire itself. I command you, go to the living lands, find the roots, and if necessary, sever them. You are my envoy. Remember your vow. The hopes of an empire rest upon you.
We boatin'. Yeah, this is. I am getting big like cordyceps vibe. Fior Mess Averno. All right, give me 1 second. Damn, this is just like the opening to the, yeah, somebody else said Baldur's Gate 3, but I was gonna say this is just like the opening to, there we go. Can I do the thing I can do? No, all right. Y'all fucking say this already controls better in third person than Skyrim. Alright.
You're alive. Thank the gods I pulled you out the wreck when I did. I wasn't about to let the Emperor's envoy die on my watch.
Oh damn. Okay, now we're talking RPG languages here.
I heard the cannons. I couldn't... We...
Immortals Phoenix Rising, what about it?
The name's Garrick, quarter gunner, 3rd Adheran Fleet. We spoke on the voyage. Never thought we'd end up like... I've been here before. We've got an outpost on this island, but... I saw flashes.
I want to pinch his cheeks.
It weren't the storm that wrecked us.
But he has like...
It was cannon fire. And it could only have
like
come from
wiggling,
that fort up the hill.
wiggling.
Makes no
I bet
sense.
it, like he has that like
No one
coarse
fires
hair.
on their own countrymen, unless... That's what I'm afraid of too. In the meantime, as long as you're here, then I know the place. Adir's got an embassy, and once we make... I hate to... We need supplies. And if our troops have been captured... Thank you. Those boards up there look old. Take that axe. It's no good to any of our crew anymore. At least some supplies survived. After all, they're good at it.
Oh, okay. No, I gotcha.
You look like a dab hand with that.
Whoa.
I don't understand. Why would they fire on us?
Condemned criminal origin. Let's fucking
No
go.
use wondering. We've got to make sure our troops are safe.
Health is low. Action radial. Oh. That's kind of interesting. Okay. It's like a radial that opens into other radials. Come here. Give me that.
Ah, well, I don't suppose they were using that either.
All right, my leg fell asleep. I wish Condemned 2 would release on PC. Yeah, I sincerely think that will never happen. I would love... I think the best we can hope for at this point is a Condemned spiritual successor. But the rights of those games are in a really weird place, and I don't think people... Unfortunately, I don't think people care enough about them to, like, really try and do something about it. Monkey! Can I pet you? Oh no! That's my bad. That... Sorry, y'all.
No! The fort's lit their distress beacon!
Macansell, murderer. I know. Oh, I'm gonna kill the fuck out of these Viashino looking things. These kobold ass.
Zara should have been here. How's the troops been doing patrol?
Oh, there's like a lock-on system. Can I not? No. Eh. I think that takes too long. Murder the Argonians.
Come on, the fort's up ahead. Tripwire.
I should have checked. Whoa.
Watch out.
That one's on me.
Good. Those should rally us.
Scaleless chat. Scaleless chat. Combat in this game looks fine. I hate the art design. I hate how the world is so static. No reactivity. NPCs just sit still. No physics. Nothing. Really kills it for me. I mean, like, I keep my expectations in check because this isn't technically like a AAA game. Like, I am not expecting something on the level of Bethesda from a much smaller studio like Obsidian.
Gods, it's a bloodbath. They've torn the place apart from the inside. Did they? Were they fighting each other? Envoy, I don't like this.
Envoy, it's Envoy, isn't it? I thought it's Envoy. Hmm.
These used to be nice quarters.
What bothers me about Bethesda is how people right off a AAA studio repeatedly releasing barely stable games. I do not think people write them off. I think that a lot of the stability of their games has A, improved over time, B, has a lot to do with how they fucking make their games and the engine it's on. Which I think is probably why, well, Starfield was pretty stable from the like 10 hours I played of it or whatever. It was stable, it was just boring. Like the problems with Starfield go deeper than its stability. But like if you want to talk about Fallout 76, yeah, like that is a game that took years to get into a stable-ish state. All right, let me. There we go. All right, load block. Housefield. Yeah, hey, that's what Game Pass is good for. Is I'm not paying $70 for Starfield. And it's unfortunate because there were moments I really liked, like the kind of cyberpunky planet where I got into like a gang turf war, but then that subplot was over with and I was back to just generic ass, like, we have Mass Effect at home. Get his ass, little guy. It's fine. Cabbage. My cabbages. I do like how it kind of follows. There's like a light enemy lock on. That feels pretty good. Oh, they're still attacking. Okay. Whoa, motherfucker. Can I not? No, I can't. I like almost dodge rolled or tried to dodge roll. Okay, there's no parry. That's a bummer. Like Starfield is also, unfortunately, the best Bethesda combat. Oh, sick. Let's go. Ragdoll. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Guess you've got mine.
Starfield is also, like, the best Bethesda combat's ever been. And, like, some of the zero-G stuff was really fucking cool. I don't know. There's stuff in Starfield, but it wasn't enough to keep me playing. I think it says a lot that I, the year before, ended up playing way fucking more of Oblivion than Starfield. I think there have to be
Surely there's a way to clear
magic.
the ramp.
What's going on over in Jack's chat, B Parker? Fire damage. Some spells. But, oh, sorry. I guess there are spells.
Is someone there? Over here! Help! I'm locked in. About it.
Is gonna be my party?
Stay back. I'm not catching whatever's on your head.
Easy. They're a godlike.
You mean a god gave you that face? Touched your soul and everything.
That's right.
Never seen one of your kind before. I always heard folks say you were blessed. Looks more like a curse to me. They never talk to you. Huh. They must not like you very much.
That's the Imperial envoy you're talking to.
Yeah, Snail Girl, that's fair. With Bethesda games, I need good story and stuff more than I need flashy combat.
Funny you survived while all your friends here went belly up.
Oh, goodness. Dog, goodness. I'm fine, thank you. I sneeze and lady is like,
Are you okay? Are you okay? Let me check. Are you okay?
Adier's had their boots on Paradise since the
Ugh.
first soldiers came.
Because the place is pure chaos.
Did you not think we liked it that way? I have to smuggle just to get anything past your damn checkpoints. I'm trying. Your friend's the one picking a fight with me.
Paradisans will knife you in the back over a dirty look.
At least we don't go mad and slaughter each other. The day I came, I noticed the guards talking gibberish. Then the killing started.
okay,
They
dog.
went wild. Stabbed their mates in their sleep.
Stab their mates in their sleep, you say? Ugh.
I told you, they weren't right.
Alright, so we are dealing with like a cordyceps
Fired
thing.
the cannons. Their faces changed. That soldier in here tried to strangle me.
Bye, Snail Girl.
I had to defend myself.
Can I? Oh no, I can't do. I should do intellect if I'm dumb.
I can tell the difference.
I've got a bad feeling about this. It doesn't make sense.
Fucking
What if she murdered that
as
soldier and she's just
I can tell the difference.
At least one of you's listening. Look,
Yeah, I'm gonna get
we
some
don't have
food
to
because I'm
like each
hungry.
other, but we can all get out alive. I left my boat at the edge of the island. It should still be there.
Okay, let's do. Yeah, that sounds. Oh god, fries sound fucking good. Going to a land that makes people evil and wondering why everyone turns evil. Yeah. Yeah. What about Obi-Wan? What? Hello there.
Doesn't look like I have a choice, eh? You let me out, and all three of us can go to Paradise.
Envoy, I've tangled with Paradisan smugglers before. She'd say just about anything to get out of that cell. Her story's full of holes. What if the boat's not there?
Blue furry Obi-Wan?
turns on
Oh, I
us.
got a bad feeling about this.
Fuck's
Okay.
sake, be reasonable.
He had a bad feeling.
Don't
about
listen to him. Gods, that's the sanest thing I've heard all day.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to... Oh, seared lamb. Damn, that sounds all right. Seared lamb? Mmm. You were the chosen one! You turned her against me! You've done that yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna get Dave's double on food. Yeah, just so much lack of concern. I feel it, B Parker. You were here earlier, son of Baconator. That looks... I'm so hungry. I just realized how fucking hungry I am. Whoa. Ooh. Roast rack of lamb and herb fin sauce? I don't know what that is. That sounds good. Yeah, Wendy's... Hey, y'all, Wendy's kind of fucking hits. Not gonna lie. Andy Gregg, thank you for subscribing. Is this the game? I don't know who's calling this a Skyrim killer. I think whoever called this a Skyrim killer was setting it up to fail. Because, like, I've never expected... I expect something about on the same level as Outer Worlds from this. Which is not, like, a perfect game or an amazing game, but it was a really enjoyable RPG. I liked Outer Worlds. I thought Outer Worlds was fun. I played through it once. I was good. Ooh, lamb with yogurt. My girlfriend works actually at a Mediterranean, or not a Mediterranean, at a Middle Eastern restaurant near here. Mushroom burger? Is the mushroom burger good? No, you know what? I can't have mushroom Swiss. But, yeah, Swiss does something to my stomach. I don't know what it is. Dark Souls was supposed to be an Oblivion killer. Man, those were the fucking days. Was that Dark Souls or Demon Souls? I feel like that might have been Demon Souls, where they were like, yeah, this is the PS3's Oblivion. Numbnut17, planning on getting an illustrated version of the first Harry Potter book from Barnes & Noble. Is that a bad thing? I don't care. Like, why would I say... You would do what you want with your money. If you like Harry Potter, I don't gotta like it. That's fine. Will you make another video about Synthetic Man one day? Probably not. I talked about this last stream. When I do a video, the reason I make videos so fucking long and in-depth when I do a deep dive is so that I'd never have to make another one. Like my Matt Walsh videos, that's it. Unless he says some really dumb shit. And I can make fun of him for it. Ooh. Ooh. My dad lives near an Arab Indo-Pak enclave, so there's tons of local curry. There is a fucking great I think it's Pakistani. It's definitely Middle Eastern, but it's Middle Eastern in the way of like they're branding in America, so they have to like just be like Middle Eastern food. But man, they have a fucking one of my favorite. They have this like roasted, and I'm not even a big cauliflower person, right? They have this roasted cauliflower. It's like this giant fucking head of cauliflower. that they like season and spice, and it's roasted so it like you can like cut into it like a cake. It's fucking mind-blowingly delicious. So good. Ugh. I love the length of your vids. I found some creator made a 7-hour response to Philosophy Tube, and I just can do it. See, here's, all right, there's a limit, because it takes weeks. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks of work for my deep dive videos, because I'm not just talking and editing. I'm also going through a script over and over and over and over again that sometimes gets upwards of 10,000, 15,000 words. I am finding my sources. I am citing all my information. I am doing in-depth research that involves a shit ton of reading and research and all sorts of other stuff, which is why my videos cut off usually around 3 hours, because even at weeks and weeks and weeks of research, there's only so much I can fit in a video, and I try not to drag it out longer than it needs to be to get all the information I want across. And that kind of goes out the window when you have videos that just end up being rants. Yeah, EFAP video it's just fucking ranting. Like, you're not actually saying much of anything. You're just fucking ranting. And it's like, you could fill 7 hours of video with that. I just do not want to. I think I have better shit to spend my time on. All right, you know what? I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I'm feeling a baconator. All I've had today is chicken salad. It was a good chicken salad, but it's all I've had today. So I can have, you know what? We're gonna get ooh, chalky milk. See, that's how I know I'm too damn hungry. I'm looking at chocolate milk like, nah, I'll get yeah, we're gonna get some nuggies. We're gonna get some nugs. Some dank nuggets. And you know what? I'm gonna be good. I don't need a sweet treat. All right, processing my order. Can't have Wendy's right now, so sad. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Feeling avowed as fuck right now. All right, let's go back to we got some dummies to talk about today. ContraPoints and Philosophy Tube are, yeah, Natalie and Abby are two very different people. Okay, wait. Did you think Natalie and Abby were the same people? That's fucking crazy, bro. Yeah, I don't like the fuzzy dwarf man. I don't. Bad vibes. Find a way to burn the brambles. Search for a key to Elora's cell. Okay. We are going to watch, because I want to talk about two dumb people. One, Andy Pants Gaming. We fucking hate this guy. And that's going to be the warm-up for... Ooh, get a side of chili. Damn, it's already too late, but damn. Um, Thoughts on swans, the animal, not the band. I fear swans. Me and swans don't. I don't fuck with swans. Me and swans don't vibe. I don't know what it is. I don't fuck with swans. I just don't. Yeah, Andy Pants Gaming. What can we say about this dork? So, this is from 5 days ago. Woke activists make your game. It never goes well. Would you believe that a game with a character creator people have been pissing and shitting themselves over because you can, like, have, like, multiple hair colors and pronouns? A swan, a self-righteous goose. That's a good way to put it. Swans he mentioned. But I also want to talk about the other thing I wanted to go into was the Asmon bullshit. And I kind of need to look it up to find, maybe it's the Hassan video, but there's been some Asmon content going around where he apparently is doing Holocaust denial and Holocaust revisionism, and like, let's go, in the worst way possible. Let's go. Convinced anti-woke gamers don't actually play games. What kind of... Yeah, so here's the thing. You'll notice Avowed came out today, but it did have an early access that, you know, of course, people were mad about and took time to get mad about. The Asmon thing. Yeah, there's like a... Let me see if I can find it real quick. Jewish books thing. Yeah, let me... If somebody has a link to it, because I know he has like a stream channel, but I did not do the requisite research. Oh, there's Jack. Asmongold. I don't even... What would it be? Oh, well, I fucked that up. Tectone. Gamers have won. Joe Rogan on LGBTQ brainwashing. Is she r-slurred? Okay, this must be it. This must be the one. Wow. Wow. They keep making videos about me. I keep saying dumb shit. Why do people keep making videos about me? He says to 700,000 views. Okay, let's... This can't be real. Asmongold. So, the thing I've noticed... Asmongold's lost. She's crazy. God, he puts out so many fucking videos that get so many fucking views. From just like here's the thing. Is the thing with Asmon that makes him so annoying to a lot of people, and I say this as somebody who, again, I was just talking about how I put weeks and weeks and weeks of work into a deep dive video where I am doing all of my own research. I am editing all of my own footage. Like, it's one of the reasons why I don't and I have not hired editors for a lot of my stuff. all my stuff. I'm the only one who edits my videos. Is that like, that's me. That's my livelihood. That's my craft. And I take it seriously as a craft. I don't want to be too highfalutin and being like, oh, well, this is my art. This is what I do. But it is a creative expression. I take a lot of passion and pride in molding it to be what I want. And so it's very frustrating. Granted, I'm far lower on the tier scale than Asmon. Asmon's been doing this for over a decade. I only have 120,000 subscribers, right? But it is so... It's one of those things that gets really fucking annoying when it shows it's a lot like Andy Pants Gaming, who Andy Pants blew up in the last year and has over 200,000 subscribers now. And if you go and look at here, let me go here real quick. That. Okay. If you go and actually look at Andy Pants's thing, his profile, all of his videos are the fucking same. Like, it's all the same shit. It is just complaining about gay people. It is just using the R slur. It is just like all the fucking same shit. Is this woke? This thing is woke. We were robbed like gay, black, and disabled Indiana Jones. It's the same fucking bitching constantly. And it's the demoralizing part. Woke YouTubers doesn't understand how DEI works. The demoralizing part is exactly what Imposant Sander says. It's so fucking low effort. Like, it's unbelievably low effort. That it just becomes like, okay, you can just like, you can get 86K in a view, making a 5-minute video that's like, look at how fucking based and Chad all these games used to be. Yeah, 2005 military game, so good. Ugh. And I mean, it's been this way for a little while, right? With the quartering. The quartering is the fucking worst to do it. No, we talked about the full executive order is out. Okay, give me a second then. But like Asmon becoming a quote unquote, and this is what the little clip I've seen, this is where Hassan is criticizing him, is him somehow being called a political commentator. It's like, dude, he was barely a video game commentator. Like, if you actually, I've talked about it before, the reason I didn't do a deep dive on him months and months ago when I was looking at doing a 2-parter on him and Synth together, the reason I didn't do a deep dive on him is all of his streams are just him agreeing with his chat. Like, straight up. And not extrapolating any additional points, not having any additional conversation. Just regurgitating whatever they're fucking feeding him. It's this really weird, annoying, boring feedback loop. Automod keeps deleting everything I'm saying about Andy Pants Gaming. I'll use my psychic link with you then. I get what you're saying. Sorry for the momentary derailment. Sorry, Max Danger. I just read this and got so excited. Sorry for the momentary derailment. I found a Johnny the Walrus plushie at Goodwill today. 2 options. I can send it to you or destroy it. I will give it to my Rottweiler. I need it. I need it. Oh my God. If you have a Johnny the Walrus plushie, hit me up on Twitter. Please, Max Danger. Or Blue Sky or Instagram. I'm dead domain on all of those things. Oh my God. It's not a Matt Walsh plushie, but it's close. I'll take it. Oh my, I will pay for shipping. I need it. I need to hang it in effigy behind me on the stream. I wonder if it's big enough to crucify. I could probably do that. Oh, I love that. Johnny the Walrus was Matt Walsh's transphobic book that he wrote, and Daily Wire made plushies of the main character. That's fucking... You have made my night. Oh my god, I love that so much. I am curious about why military games are gay now. I'm just waiting for my food so we can sit and... Pure testosterone. See, like, it's just the most bare bones editing too. I'm like, hey, whatever. I am having burger for food. Also, this idea that old games were like this mile-a-minute thrill ride and like it was all fucking rad all the time. Nah. Like, yo, go play like any of the Medal of Honor games that EA was just shitting out at a certain point. Fucking get back to me once you get past like the opening beach level of any of those things. Like Brothers in Arms, like Road to Hill 40, that stuff holds up a little bit better, but like Medal of Honor Rising Sun does not hold up. And it's also because, like, straight up, they don't fucking... Like, it was an era of gaming where... Okay, so once you hit Modern Warfare, you notice a very distinct shift in how military shooters in particular, but shooters overall, are designed. And a lot of that has to do with the control scheme. Because Modern Warfare, and to a lesser extent, like Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, which had very similar control schemes, but it figured out how to make a tactical feeling shooter that was still really intuitive and fast-paced, which is something games struggled with for so fucking long. Like, any of the old, like, Tom Clancy games and shit, especially, like, Ghost Recon 2, they were hot at the time. Going back to play them, they are just slogs because nobody had figured out how to make the controls actually feel good and intuitive when you were doing something. You had drop-down menus on drop-down menus for, like, shit that just didn't work. Yeah, and like even if they were good at the time, even if they were fun games at the time, like the original Medal of Honor and the original Medal of Honor Underground and like all of those games had like were interesting shooters at the time. It was such a period of rapid growth and innovation in that shooter space. Like there's a reason why so many people jumped on Call of Duty's ass, because it like fucking something clicked. It was like, oh my god, this is what we should have been doing the whole fucking time. Oh god, Rainbow Six, the original. Medal of Honor blew my mind in 2001. Yeah, no, like I'm not saying they were like bad at the time. Sorry, I'm texting my partner. Okay. Yeah, Medal of Honor Frontline blew my 10-year-old mind. Go back to it. I promise. Not nearly as good. And it's kind of a bummer because some of the games, like it has led to this, like there's a legacy of games now where like I went and tried to play Black for the first time because Black is literally a game I remember as a kid picking up in like a Blockbuster, which is a very old-fashioned notion. It's funny, Jacob Martin, it's funny you say that because I actually read Rainbow Six from the school library. It's funny, it's weird you say that. Yeah, Return to Castle Wolfenstein does hold up. But it's Return to Castle Wolfenstein holds up because it's in that interesting middle ground of shooter design where it was like that post Half-Life. We're trying to make things a little bit more cinematic, but it's not stripped down and ridiculously stupid and linear yet. but there's still like an openness to it, but it's not like Halo open where there's like vehicles and shit. Yeah. Return to Castle Wolfenstein kind of whips. Kind of whips. Ah, thank you, whoever gifted Kira Gen Mystic. And Chuck Grape, thank you for the $2 for that. Man. Yeah, no, I'm like Black and Legendary, 2 FPS games I never played. Those are 2 very different qualitative games. Man. Legendary. What a weird fucking thing. I actually have a review on the channel for Legendary as part of the video. The shooter review series. Cause yeah, the one with all the werewolves, minotaurs, fairies, gargoyles. You fight a kraken in the UK Parliament. Weird fucking game. Like pretty undercooked, but like, oh, they almost had something. Yeah, Unreal holds up. Unreal does fucking hold up. Unreal holds up really well. It's why I want fucking Night Dive to remaster it, because Unreal was like so quickly overshadowed by Half-Life when that came out. And like Unreal was doing, it didn't have like vehicles or anything, but it was doing a lot of the stuff Halo did like 3 years before Halo. Yeah, God, Unreal. Like it had like these kind of dynamic systems with like the villagers and that you could save, the Napoli, and like Unreal. And that fucking I get chills just thinking of the intro soundtrack when you first come out into this giant fucking area and you see like alien creatures flying above and you hear the trickle of the waterfall and like, oh, fucking Unreal, man. All right, my food is almost here. I will be right back, and then we'll watch this. Okay. You know what? Now I need to. It's fucking. It's. I need to listen to it real quick. We'll get back to this dumb bullshit in a second. But I need to Unreal. Dusk Horizon. That's what it is. I need to fucking. This song is engraved on my heart. Like this is for those who don't know, this is so goddamn Unreal Gold, and you come out, you're a prisoner on this prison transport ship that crashes and everything goes fucked up, and you emerge onto this huge green vista. It's very low poly like now, but this huge fucking vista where there's waterfalls and birds chirping overhead, and like the world just seems like fucking huge and alive. Oh, and this fucking and the crescendo of this music hits right as you come out and see this huge canyon and a lake. And I need to share, like, this goes so fucking hard. Oh god, it's just disgustingly good. Just disgustingly fucking good. Oh. Like it's one of those songs, it's like that first fucking warthog ride in it's the second, yeah, it's Halo. Halo Combat Evolved. The first one when they drop the warthog and it go like the sorry, excuse me. Got a piece of nuggie stuck in my throat. That drops the warthog, you jump in and you start hearing that, and then the fucking like it comes in, it's like, oh, I'm gonna remember this moment for the rest of my fucking life. Like this is some other shit. This is some other shit. Or the fucking the other musical moment that I remember from my childhood was like the Pokemon Yellow, like the fucking hype beast music that would kick in, like when you were doing like a Team Rocket fight. Like y'all know. Oh, okay. We gotta do one more, baby. What's the one I'm looking for, y'all? Is it Rival Appears? It might be Rival Appears. Versus Gym Leader. Might be versus Rival. I think it's versus Rival. Oh, this was hype too. Oh. No, that's good, but it's not the one I'm talking about. That does go hard. That does go fucking dummy, though. No, I want... I think I want... It's not the last road. Rival appears? Let me... All right, it's getting all caught up. Wild Pokemon versus trainer. I think it might be the boss battle one, or the. Yeah, this goes hard. But no, I want. Where's the gym leader? Rival appears, evolution. There we go. Battle versus. I think it's gym leader. Yeah, Stony. I think it's the gym leader theme. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. This one has like a sick breakdown in the middle. Listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. Oh, fuck, man. God damn. Like, oh. See, like, that's the kind of shit. Oh, tapping into core memory. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it just fucking. Oh. Like, but you heard that shit, and it felt like as you're watching these, like, no-frame animation creatures dogfight each other, it's like, this is like the fight of my life right here. This is real shit. Ugh. I could play, no, I don't need to, like, yeah, 3 fucking audio channels. That's all we needed back in the day. All right, I can't keep doing video game music, otherwise we'll go on a half-hour tangent on the Muppet Monster Adventure music, which I've already done. I've done like 3 times before. Alright, we're gonna go back to this dickhead.
Contact, 12 o'clock. Hostile terminated.
So, multiplayer cosmetics is the downfall of military shooters, apparently. Okay. Pure testosterone. It's just like dudes driving through a low poly fucking desert. Whatever, bro. Sorry, there's unicorn cat girls that people... Hey, do you want to know why the Call of Duty store sells anime cat girls and shit? It's because people buy them a lot. Just saying. So this is the shit I'm talking about. We're a minute in. We don't have a single fucking... A minute into a 6-minute video, he hasn't even talked. God, this propaganda shit is so fucking easy. It's crazy. Literally, this is just the footage. I know this footage. This is the exact intro to Call of Duty 2. You just leave it on the main menu and it plays this. Like, whatever. So, okay, notice the complete lack of gay shit. First off, it goes without saying that you're nitpicking, right? But more importantly, this is a game set in World War II in the European theater. Well, it also goes to Africa and Russia. The other one is a spy thriller set in the 90s. You think there might be different groups of people and different people affected and involved in those? No? That seems like a YP, not an MP.
Yeah, Angel does it again.
This was one to remember.
That was something, right? Don't be sad. This is just how it works out sometimes.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. With all of us, how can we lose?
This is very obviously just like hero shootership. Like, it's his whole thing that, like, he wants games to be it's this misplaced nostalgia for where, like, it's not the fact that okay, he likes the way the memories of these games made him feel, but if a game were released as bereft of modern features as Call of Duty 2, as simplistic and short and straightforward, even with great AAA graphics, it would be fucking torn apart right now. Torn apart.
Today I'm proud.
Oh, I'm ready. Oh, I climbed Everest. It's been all downhill from there. Couldn't imagine a better lineup of ass kickers than this.
This is what I live for.
It took him all this time to get to what he's actually mad about, which is just like a black femme. That's the thing that really triggered him. I'm like, I know he doesn't have a problem with a smirking white dude. Why does he care? It's like, no, okay, now I know why he's bothered by this.
I am not overconfident. I'm just better than everyone else.
Oh, you know, I think I pulled something back there.
Well, well, well. That was fun.
He's not even gonna fucking talk during this. Yeah, look at how dog shit those animations look, bro.
Cover your advance. Stay off the open runway.
All right, folks. Let's keep this fast and tight.
Watch your fire. We got friendlies.
Ghost, this is command. The British troops are calling for support. Take out those machine gun nests.
Nice shooting.
Realism, high difficulty. Wow, it's almost like the games are... Like, does he think that the games aren't trying to do different things? This is ridiculous. I can't even be mad at that. It's so fucking low effort. Rosette trans girl. I don't know. Like, again, this shit is fucking easy. Selling anger is easy. This video, 86,000 views in a day. To just watch this. 86K. Like, for a thing that is just a basically a clip show nitpicked from modern multiplayer shooters and showing off like 2005 ass single player gameplay. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, also, oh yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending the writing of Battlefield 2042. Like, it is cringe, but it's also like whatever. Like, it is having stupid snarky characters is not wokeness. If you don't like it, don't fucking play it. Which, hey, people fucking didn't, because Battlefield 2042 is like, not great. Not a great game. I don't know. Maybe it improved. I always bounce off Battlefield games pretty early on.
Command, Ghost Leader. One enemy helo eliminated.
Under fire! Hostile! Target down!
Don't you be getting too big for your britches now.
Hey, the algorithm's got good taste.
Is he going to talk about how people didn't like X-Defiant and people didn't fucking... Like, I think X-Defiant went off... Didn't the servers get taken down? There's fear count as a military FPS? Kinda. I would say kinda. It would... if... yeah, I forgot X-Defiant was the thing, too. Something I played about 3 minutes of and was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I think it is... Fear is military shooter enough that if somebody's like, hey, I like military shooters, you could be like, hey, you should play Fear. And they would probably like it, so. Yeah, that is something I noticed. He didn't really show gameplay. Oh, Trepang 2. Now you're fucking talking. Now you're talking my language. Trepang 2 fucking whoops. Yeah, it's shut down. Shutting down June 2025. Or it's going to shut down, I guess. So it didn't do well. I don't...
Our little rabbit got some moves.
That's right. Preen that fur, you competent mammal.
Jesus fucking Christ. This is embarrassing, dude. I can't even, like... Is it just... It's just the full-ass opening of... I can't anymore. We gotta watch. I'm so bored with that, I'm going to Asmon. Asmon. Alright. This can't be real. Trump just gave us a big update. God, why do you think they keep making videos about me? Asmongold made a video called Idiocracy is Not a Comedy, It's a Documentary. In the year 2025. Holocaust happened because of free speech. All right, let's go, man. I'm gonna do Joe Rogan, LGBTQ brainwashing, and then Holocaust.
LGBT brainwashing? Uh-oh.
Our president is very smart. He's showing us things that enables people like Mike Benz and you and I to have these conversations about, because it's not ideological that USAID, which is not USAID, this is like one of these psyops right
Sometimes
up top, like Federal Express is not owned by the government, Federal Reserve is not owned by the government.
Yeah.
USAID is the Agency for International Development, not aid.
See, watch, he will just like start being like, the thing he does with his weird little twitchy ass is he just eventually just starts agreeing. He just goes like, yeah, absolutely. He's like the dude at the party who's never listening to what you're saying because he's paying attention to something else entirely. But like you're talking to him because you're both kind of drunk and he's just like, yeah, totally. Oh, that's crazy. Damn. Oh, wow, yeah. He does that exact same thing for like a living.
There's another pallet onto the C-130. Aid, U.S. aid from the American people.
Oh, we're being nice.
Yeah, we're being nice to people.
We should be nice. We're the nice people of the world.
But what these, and I'm sure Mike talked about this, like LGBTQ, these dance parties and things. If you look at these countries, like these are countries where we want to keep them away from Russia, overthrow the incumbents.
Yes.
And the way to garner support is to. And I really love how they added the Q. That just became so clear to me all of a sudden. If you sponsor LGBTQ, these are outcasts. These are people who feel that they've been marginalized.
Sure.
Then you add a Q, like,
well, I mean, to be fair, in a lot of these other countries.
What? Is he? Is he literally is he drawing the Q parallel? Is he doing a QAnon thing right now? Is that what I'm hearing? Because the way he's talking about the Q is like you see, that's the key. It's like, aha, there, it's right in front of you. I'm not saying for sure, but that's the way I'm feeling right now. But let's hear Asmon's take on global politics.
They are legitimately marginalized. Like, it's in the U.S., we forget about this, but in a lot of countries, like, you actually are.
In the U.S., we forget how queer people are marginalized. He says, as the government moves to literally eradicate the concept of transgenderism. Oh, we should watch that Michael Knowles Jubilee video while we're fucking going in on it. Like, we forget about this. And in America, we have it real good as the government is erasing mentions of trans people from missing persons databases. As we just had one of the most heinous torture, murder crimes against a trans man who was tortured and beaten for months. A month, I believe. Like, the idea that, like, oh, no, we don't know. We don't, like... Do you think he even has any gay friends? Like, not trans, not binary, just a gay friend. That's crazy.
Marginalized if you're gay, right? And not even to mention trans.
And I can be queer. I'm different. I'm odd. You bring more people in. You can bring the anarchists in.
You can get A. They have the A's in
Oh,
now,
yeah. The A's,
which is so crazy.
Everything.
But the A's don't even have a dog in the fight.
But that's the point. You want them to come to the party.
Yes.
Come to the party. You're allowed to the party.
That's
and
why it's so long now.
And I saw this, AFD in Germany, this is the extreme right party, and they wanted, to slow or remove immigration.
Mm-hmm.
And so now there was a protest.
So what we're looking at here is this person is running interference for Germany's current neo-Nazi party. The party that has the backing of neo-Nazi groups in Germany. And also that everybody else got that. I wanted to make sure that that was what you took to, is that he doesn't think A is asexual. He thinks it's anarchist, which is not what that is. It's just not. It's just not. Okay, continue on. And Asmon is just like serving this to his audience of 3.41 million people. Just nodding along to shit that he knows nothing about, as they're literally what are we doing here? What are we doing, chat?
Against the AFD, they're getting ready to vote now, and there's 100,000 people there. And I'm like, wow. I thought, because I know people in Germany, I have friends in Germany. They really are sick and tired of this immigration stuff. So where are these people coming from? And in the news report, right up front, there's a dude in a blonde wig with eyeshadow saying, we just want to get along. Can't we just be diverse? I'm like, that's the psyop. He's talking about himself. So
now, remember what I said about Asmon is just like, he's like not agreeing with anything really. He's just affirming whatever he's watching. Like what do you think he's saying yes to in this conversation? Like, yeah, totally. There was a person there doing this. There's something I can almost guarantee. I would be shocked if Joe Rogan actually fucking fact checks this at all. I would be shocked.
Wants to feel included, which, by the way, in America, you can do whatever you want, call yourself whatever you want. People really don't have an issue with that. But
general,
people don't have an issue with that. You can call yourself whatever you want. They just made it illegal for the U.S. government and government agencies to acknowledge non-binary people. When I've talked about the history of third genders. When there have been people who identified outside of a gender binary for thousands of years, we have historical records of it. But yeah, sorry. That was the last bite. That was the last bite. All right, lady says hello. Lady, no. Hey, no. Lady wants to say hello. She says burger. You got burger hand, Mom. She want burger real bad. Oh, woo. I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. All right, I'm going to go throw my garbage away, refill my water, and then we will resume. Yes, I was talking about Sam Nordquist. For those who... Why is she growling? Because she thinks she can talk to me. It doesn't help that I basically trained her to talk back to me like this, which is not great. Yeah, a couple days ago, it came to light that a black trans man was abducted, assaulted sexually and physically for about a month by a group of 5 white people before being murdered. And yeah. The details of the story are fucking horrific. Sam Nordquist, if you wanna look it up for yourself. Yeah, no, it reminds me of I talked about it, but it reminds me of a very similar case in Japan where I think a teenage girl was abducted by a group of or if it was like a biker gang or just street thugs, but it is one of the most like heinous crimes in Japanese history. Where she was similarly like beaten, sexually assaulted, starved for over a month. And human body can only take so much before they give out. So yeah, Junko Furuta, thank you. Yeah, they found her in a barrel. And I believe that's how they found, not in a barrel, but I believe the way that they found the trans killers was they were trying to dispose of the body. And that is like the Junko Furuta story is so incredibly reminiscent of the thing with Sam right now. Like just the mind boggles. Sorry, my dog is trying to play with me while I'm trying to have this serious conversation. The mind boggles to try and understand how somebody can do that to another person. I think a lot of people react immediately with anger or fear, rage, all of which is, you know, justified, but it is like, I think that the mystery of it is the scariest part, is that how are there people that you could walk by on the street any day that have it in their hearts to treat another human being, let alone another living person, but treat another human being. And I think it's even more soul-wrenching to consider it that it was the people who did this to Sam, it was 5 people.